Do you feel the vibes?
Hello, mate. Right, welcome back to the Beard X16. I did say that I wasn't going to do a vlog this week because I've already done one technically. And you're probably wondering why I've got a lid on my head. It's for very good reason, trust me. Years ago I had a job as a cycle technician, and the amount of people I met that had come off bikes and whatever, push bikes, even little kids back then. I mean, what was that, 2000 and roughly 2004 maybe? The statistics were around about 4,500 people per year came off their push bikes with no helmet, and were potentially killed or seriously injured. That's not going to be me. And if my wife saw this video without me with a lid on, I'd be in some serious poo. Anyway, right, this vlog is my life, so you've probably noticed I'm a bit out of breath. I haven't been on my Recumbent since last summer, maybe, or maybe I've been out, but not on a proper ride. What I'm going to do in a minute is pull over somewhere a little bit aesthetically pleasing instead of a main road, and we're going to have a little wander around and show you what I built. Alright, see you in a minute. Right, I'll say aesthetically pleasing. It's a skate park, kids want to graffiti and stuff like that, and I think they're allowed to do it anyway. Right then, so what I'm going to do is give you a little tour of my Recumbent. Now, like I mentioned earlier, years ago I was a cycle technician, and doing that and the training that comes with that, I learned enough to strip and rebuild a bike totally from scratch. So I wouldn't have even attempted making this unless, for safety reasons, that I was confident that I wasn't going to go out and kill myself or kill someone or cause an accident on the roads. So you can make one of these as long as you can either weld or you know someone that can weld, and you know enough about the mechanics and the geometry and all that sort of stuff of building a bike safely. Right, first of all, I have a back problem through years of doing door work and security and training in martial arts and things like that, and I've always been a real keen cyclist. Now the problem is, if I get on the bike, within an hour I'm hunched over like an old man. I know I'm getting there, but I'm not there yet. So I was looking on the internet, on YouTube and things like that, looking for inspiration on what I could do to still get out there, and I came across a guy called Matt from Jayoe, and it's basically what he's done is he's got himself a recumbent bike, and he set himself a goal of cycling all the way around the world over, I think it was 5 years. He'll probably correct me if I'm wrong. Now, he started in China, and I followed him from the very beginning, and it's such an inspiration. I thought, that's it. I'm going to build me a recumbent. So that's what I did. Do you want to see it? Enough of me waffling on. I'll take you around the bike. So there it is. It's a tadpole recumbent style. Sorry, it's a it's a tadpole style recumbent. Now, what you've got is the 26-inch wheel and swing arm off a full-size mountain bike. Let's get rid of that. And basically, what you do is you build a frame to accommodate the two wheels at the front. Now, I had trouble finding 20-inch wheels. They were out of my price range because they needed to be a single-sided axle. The best thing I could find, believe it or not, was an old wheelchair with a single-sided axle. So it worked out really well. You have to, I mean, look at the size of the chain. That's 3 mountain bike chains joined together. The seat, usually you would have, it's kind of a molded seat. Now, again, I couldn't justify spending 200 plus on a piece of plastic with a bit of foam. I don't know how comfortable they are, because I mean there's different types. There's types with a frame with mesh, and then it's all woven in with like paracord type stuff. But this is a fishing seat, and I tell you what, it's all about comfort. It's like going for a ride on your reclining chair. It's so comfortable. There were some slight issues with setting up the gears and things like that, because you need to extend all the cables. This front piece here, there's a plastic wing nut there, so I can extend it if someone else wants to. Now, SPDs are pedals that you clip your shoes into. Believe it or not, you gain 60% more power on the up pull. On a recumbent, they're really good, because I mean you can have them quite tight and you can't really fall off. So if you stop and you struggle to get your foot out of your SPD, nothing's going to happen, because you're not going to fall over. I've got the camera mount on there just for doing vlogs. So brakes, as normal, are connected to the steering. So if I steer that, I had a bit of trouble with the geometry when I built it. I took it out and it was just, I mean, you go over 10 mile an hour and it wobbled like crazy, and it was hard to control. You drift off. It's quite dangerous. But eventually getting the geometry set up really well, it's lovely. I mean, you can cruise at 40 mile an hour, no problem at all, downhill. What else? Let's have a look. Now, the problems I've had with this, you've got to have a flag on the back, because you're quite low to the ground, and cars and things like that can't see you. So you've got to have a flag. Now, every time I went to put this into the workshop to do silly little things like adjusting gears and things like that, I'd snap this pole on the roof of the garage, and every time I snap it, it gets shorter and shorter and shorter. It should be longer than that, but that's fine, people can see it. What else? Right, yep, horn if you're on cycle tracks. It's an essential little tool. People can't hear you coming. Gears. Usually you'd have the gears up on your steering. I didn't like that because you kind of, when you're going right up into a higher gear, you kind of, the force of you pushing it, because this is so sensitive, steers the bike. So what I did is I attached them to the side of the seat where they're really firm. They're not going to cause any issues. And there's the other one there. Now, I don't know if you can see that, but my mirror is cracked. I've got a sneaky suspicion that when my brother, I was out training one day, my brother took this just up the road to the shops. I don't know what happened, but it ended up with one of the wheels falling off and him having to drag it home. I think that crack might have happened then. Doesn't matter, I can get a new one. I think that's about it. One thing I have got to get though is a decent pannier rack. I'd like the type that, you know, with the bags on the side, but they are expensive. Yep, this is quite good. Now this is a solar charger. They're not expensive, but if you're doing vlogs or you're just going out for the day, you want to charge your phone or whatever you've got, these are great. Now I've trailed the wire all the way down underneath the frame and then up to where my phone mounts in there, because I'm forever, when I'm filming videos, my phone dies. One day I will get a decent camera. Let me know what you would recommend as far as a camera. I think a couple of £100. I'll stretch a couple of £100 if I save it up. But let me know, because I don't want to go out and spend money on something that I don't really need. I record in UHD and I need a decent battery life. So if you've got any recommendations, just leave a comment below and I'll be really grateful. Look at that little bugger up there. Now if you live in a seaside town like I do, and you go out and get something to eat, like a pasty or something from Greg's, watch them little buggers, because they've learned that they can swoop down, and I've seen it loads of times, old grannies eating their sausage roll or whatever that they've just paid a fortune for, because it's a seaside town, so everything's overpriced for tourists, well, for everyone really. And what happens, they come down and they just swoop it out their hands and fly off. Somehow they've managed to evolve into thieves, but it's food at the end of the day. Right, I'm going to Tesco's. My cats are screaming at me for some food. I forgot to get it yesterday. They got biscuits, but no, they don't want biscuits, they want meat. Anyway, I'm going to go and get some meat for the cats, and I'll do a bit more filming of driving about. Just remember to chain your bike up. I don't know what it is, but bikes, you just nicked all over the place recently, even in a town like this. So chain it up. Problem is, you can't put a recumbent in a conventional bike park because of the size. But anyway, it's chained up, it's safe.
Got a bit of a squeak.
Now this is really unusual. Usually when I take the recumbent out, everybody wants to talk, everybody wants to stop you, which I don't mind, and talk about the bike, probably because they've not seen anything like it before, or not many of them. But yeah, it's usually 3 or 4 times people say, oh, and then they start talking to you. If you like talking to strangers like I do, just random people, get yourself a recumbent, because it certainly does attract all sorts of people. Problem is, the camera is right in my line of view, so I have to keep doing this. I haven't got a weird twitch in my neck, but I have to keep leaning round. You lot in there. I've took my glasses off because I don't know, I can't help thinking it's a bit rude to talk to people with your glasses on, unless you need to for sensitive eyes reasons and things like that. But sometimes it's just sunny and you're not going to look very good if you haven't got your shades on. I've got a slight click. If you can hear it every now and again, you probably can't because of traffic, but I've got a slight click in the rear mech. I think it might be just a little bit bent out of shape. I'll have a look at that. It stinks. I'm cycling past the water processing plant, and sometimes it stinks. In the summer, in the summer, and you go in a shop for food at Tesco's, it's not very nice at all. It kind of puts you off shopping. I mean, it saves you money, but it puts you off eating. This is quite a good track. If you live in Poole or Wimborne or Blandford, Sturmston Newton, North Dorset area, they've converted the old railway into a designated trailway, so it's open to push bikes and walking and things like that, but there's seriously a lot of miles of track. I mean, you can go from Holes Bay in Poole all the way through Broadstone to Wimborne, and then you go from Wimborne to Blandford, or Spetsbury, then Blandford, and then from there you go on to Sturmston. You never know, you might see me on the trail somewhere. If not, leave a comment below and we'll go for a ride. Sorry, I'm a little bit out of breath, like I said earlier. I've not been out for a while.
Get on my helmet.
Sitting around been on this for a while. It's kind of running okay. I put a bit of WD-40 on the chain. But other than that, I've not really done anything to it since last time I went out, which I'm happy about. I went and pulled the cover off and I thought, oh no, before I go out I'm going to have to, obviously you do, every time you get on a push bike, you do your checks. It's really important to do your checks. Make sure your brakes are working correctly. More importantly, because if you can't stop, you're in some trouble. But yeah, pulled the sheet off. Noticed the chain was a little bit dry, but other than that, lovely. And you know the good thing about recumbents, if you're tired or you want to just stop for a rest, you just stop and sit there. You don't have to lean your bike up summit and sit on cold wet grass. You can just sit in your reclining chair. Alright, sit in your reclining chair and just watch the world go by. It's lovely. I just waved at an old girl sitting in the minibus at the old people's home. She smiled, so I waved. What's wrong with people nowadays? She looked like I was going to go mug her or something. Kind of help her like this. Ooh. It's funny how people react to just strangers being nice and saying hello, or give them a little wave, or bobbing your tongue out, a little kid in the car, you know. It's a bit of fun. People are too serious nowadays. I suppose you can understand it with the amount of crap people have to go through. When I was young, my mum and dad would say, "Oh, I remember when you didn't need to lock the doors at night." Yeah. Luckily, the area I live in is quite nice. But there are places when you certainly can't leave your door open at night. Well, unlocked, that is. Or even, you can't walk out in the dark at night. What's all that about? I am really nosy. I see all these beautiful houses and I'm just drawn to looking at them. Don't know why. Maybe it's because I want one. Or don't we all? I'm not bothered about cars and really expensive things like that. I just love a nice big house with a bit of land. Try and rescue some donkeys maybe, and I'll be happy. Right, so I'm pulling into my street now, so I'm going to leave it there. Hold the traffic up. Right, so I'm going to leave it here now. Whew. Thanks for watching me rabbit on about all sorts of rubbish, but I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. That's not an order. There's nothing worse than watching YouTube videos and seeing at the end the person doing the video says, "Don't forget to subscribe." That is just cheeky. I don't like it. Usually people that say that, I don't subscribe, so I think it's quite cheeky and quite rude actually. But if you just say, "Would you mind subscribing if you like my videos," then that's fine. And if you do, please like, share and comment. I mean, I love to read the comments. I'll read every comment and I'll reply to every comment. But yeah, I'll see you in the Tuesday make. I'm not sure what it is this for next week, but I'm sure I can dream something up. Usually that's where I do it. I'm laying in bed at night and I can't help thinking about making something, so I plan it all out in my mind. The phone stopped recording. I could just hear that. That means it stopped recording. So yeah, I lay in bed at night thinking about what I can build. It keeps me awake, so I have to plan it all in my head and then remember it when it comes to building it. So yeah, I'll start the Tuesday build the weekend and I'll upload it Tuesday. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you then.